In this letter, you will notice the use of the word denounce. This word does not mean that you actually need to do anything in order to cease these businesses, but rather announce to them that what they are doing is wrong. As time moves forward, it must be recognized eventually that what is happening is wrong. We will send this letter to the different oralism-based organizations such as cochlear and hearing aid businesses that make millions of dollars off of the deaf community. Sending this letter out every single year within the time frame of September 6th through September 11th will be very beneficial. This represents the Milan Conference held in 1880. That year began what was one of the darkest time periods in deaf culture history. Essentially, people who called themselves the International Congress on the Education of the Deaf, or ICED for short, came together in Milan, Italy. After much discussion, they decided to ban the use of ASL, wiping it off of the face of the earth in order to establish the oral method everywhere. The oralism philosophy and all of its effects on the deaf community began at that Milan Conference in 1880. The deaf community is still suffering from many of the effects that those decisions caused, and the deaf community will continue to suffer until the year 2070. Businesses still practice these wrong values even though the ICED recently announced in 2010 that they were removing their statement banning sign language from their decisions. However, many businesses ignored this recent update and the practices are still there because these businesses are making a lot of money, billions of dollars every year. This letter needs to contain 3 easily recognized principles, or demands if you will. Number 1, the statement, the system of division set up by your organization is wrong. We need to denounce this system of divide, created by separating the oral and no signing child from the cochlear implanted child, from the children who can sign, etc., etc., with absolutely no collaboration or connection between them. The system of division created the opportunity for the messages that people received to be controlled, like brainwashing. That is not right, and we need to denounce it. Secondly, a powerful message about taking our ASL back. They keep trying to ignore ASL and even make it disappear again, as they tried earlier at the Milan Conference. They will dismiss ASL and mention the language and its culture as a last option, but we are powerful and remain. Lastly, a powerful message about the insulting myths told to hearing parents about what they should do with their deaf baby. For example, all the myths that learning to sign is bad because if they go to a deaf school, the level of education is lower there, or the myths about children growing up oral and learning how to listen get all muffled up and mudded with the truth, which is exactly the reason why we need to have these 3 clear main points. That message in that letter should be the same exact message year after year. We as the American deaf community have the responsibility to send out this same message every year, denouncing these organizations. Here are a few examples of the organizations I am referring to. There are many more, but here are a few. These businesses are so powerful because of how much money they make. Therefore, we must roll up our sleeves and stand together to denounce these organizations. It starts with all of you. Today's era is very disappointing to me, as some have decided not to care anymore, since there are new technologies and legislations that provide deaf people with more rights, such as interpreters outlined in the ADA, among others. So what are we fighting for exactly? We are fighting for a different world for the year 2070. We are fighting for the deaf community to have an opposite lifestyle than they do right now. They depend on us. And again, it is really up to you. Thanks.